Morning.
Hey, ladies. I'll bring them in.
Thank you. Hey, stop it.
All of the horse acting was always very funny to me because how that works is you have somebody holding on to a rope and you're just kind of
Pulling it along.
pulling them around. And it would always make me laugh.
Fun fact, the guy in the stable there is Yuri, who plays Spider-Man in the Spider-Man Insomniac game.
That's Yuri? Yeah.
And this was another big scene. Anytime we have a big scene like this, we can only have so many actors in the volume, so this is captured in pieces. And I remember, like, Troy played one of, like, the people kind of like, and they were improvising, talking crap in the background.
Yeah, and it's not there anymore. There was a bit where he said something kind of goading to me, and it's not there anymore. But then every take we did, I'd call him a new name that I thought was, like, embarrassing. I'd be like, listen, Chad.
You come back. Be smart about it.
Wait, I actually didn't know there's only a certain amount of people you can have on the volume?
Get going.
Yeah, just because we start losing data after a while to track all the little balls and stuff. It gets fuzzy. Like above 8, I think it just like gets more expensive, and you're more likely to be error prone, so it needs more cleanup.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Laura Bailey, and I played Abby in The Last of Us Part 2.
Ominous. And here we have the introduction of this crew, the Salt Lake City crew.
There's Neil.
Self-insert. And here we have Laura Bailey waking up. This was a repeating motif from the first game of these characters that are haunted by some horrible trauma and can't sleep.
The lighting is really nice here. It's really nice everywhere.
We debated quite a bit of like how much do we want to reveal for this character when you're about to play as her, versus how much we want to hold off for like the second half of the game when you get to see more of her. I remember they rated a lot of how much snow he should have on him because he was just outside.
Hey,
This is one of the audition scenes, I think.
what were you dreaming about?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Was I talking?
You're doing here.
It's important to know that we did not want to cast you in this role.
I've heard tell that you did not.
Just because you're in so many things and you're so iconic. But you were the best.
Grab your gear.
And once we saw your audition, there was no turning back.
What are you going to do, you know?
Trust me.
You painted us into a corner, Laura Bailey.
You're welcome.
Come on, this way.
It's cold. You sure you don't want to do this when the sun's out? And it's warmer?
No. Can't wait.
And you don't want to just tell me?
You need to see it.
What are you doing wandering around out here by yourself?
Been restless.
You too?
Feel like the farther south we go, the prettier it's gotten.
You want to keep going? Just drive all the way to Mexico?
I've thought about it.
You can see Manny's hometown.
Yeah, I don't see that living up to his stories somehow.
Yeah, no, probably not. You did all this in the dark?
Yes. Now come on.
We keep going like this. We're gonna be tired for today's trip.
It's not that far.
Hey, is Mel okay? She seemed out of it these past few days.
She'll be fine.
You stop being weird, you're freaking me out.
I'm not being weird.
Are you breaking up with Mel?
What? No. You wish.
I've had my fill. Thank you.
Ouch.
We can't all be as graceful as you.
Clearly.
What is that?
You'll be fine.
It's too high.
Come on.
Shit.
Hey. Eyes on me. Abby. Stop looking down.
Owen, do we have to go back this way?
Consider it an opportunity to work on your fears.
How about I work my foot up your ass?
Abby, stop flirting.
This is the first real big choice this character makes, Abby, of do we turn back or does she choose justice?
We made it.
She's going to end up choosing justice, just like Ellie does later many times.
Choosing obsession.
Yeah.
It's a fucking city.
Yeah.
It's also important to note that, when you're acting in this, there's nothing there. You're in this blank white volume, and we're like, okay, it's snowing. You got to act like you're freezing. There's a town in the distance.
It's, it's so weird though. Like, I never, when I try to remember a scene or remember performing that moment, I never think of it in terms of oh, right, we were in this gray volume. I always had this visual of every set that was actually supposed to be there. And I think of it in those terms.
But I think that's a unique skill that only some actors have.
Really?
And other actors without the set, without the costume, they can't get into it. They can't lose themselves the way you and Troy and Ashley do.
When I did this audition, Troy was reading opposite me because he was doing all of the Abby auditions.
Sure, they'll be happy.
And
That's right.
he forgot all of the lines in this particular scene. And we were just making stuff up. I remember thinking that went really well.
These scenes can be very tricky to write, but they're also a lot of fun where you're just given hints of this relationship. And obviously there's some kind of triangle here between Abby, Owen, and Mel. And Abby does a very poor job of hiding her feelings.
Okay.
It's not just that, though.
Should I say congrats?
When everyone else sees this, they're going to want to turn back.
But it's just interesting that,
We can convince him.
Owen, we're setting up here, he plays this moral conscience for this group. And even here, he's trying to give Abby a way out.
Count on you.
Abby, I want what you want, but not at any cost.
But not at any cost. So it's there's a line here for justice that he's not willing to cross. And she hasn't found her line yet.
Well, it's also selflessness versus selfishness, right? He now has, even with nothing else, he now has a baby he has to think about, right? Which is the same for Dina, which is the same for Jesse, which is the same for Joel. But she is only thinking about herself.
Well, one could argue she's also thinking about her father.